My name is Stan Baker, and I'm a functional potter and raku artist. I've been a potter my whole life. I started being a potter when I was 16 years old. And in the beginning, the inspiration was that they wouldn't let me use the potter's wheel. And they said, no, we don't use that. You're too young for that. So then of course I wanted to use it. And then once I started getting into it, the thrill of the making a piece of pottery, because it's such a fast media that, you know, you throw the piece of clay down there and a minute later you have a finished product practically. You know, you still have to cook it and glaze it and such, but just the thrill of doing something so fast and then having something that's useful. And then of course pottery, as you know, we're finding things from the Egyptian days that are pottery that are still as vibrant as they were the day they were made. So the thoughts of making something that is going to last forever until you actually break it, it just doesn't, they don't wear out. It's just such a cool medium to work in. As I say, my adage is it takes 10 years and 2 minutes to make a piece of pottery. 10 years of practice, 2 minutes worth of work. Of course now it's 37 or 38 years of practice and 2 minutes worth of work. But it happens really fast. Now to finish the piece of pottery, it takes a long time. You have to let it dry, you have to finish the bottom, you have to fire it once in the kiln to get it hard enough to handle so that you can actually put the glaze on it. Then you have to glaze it, which will sometimes glazing will take more time than the actual producing of the piece. And then you have to fire it again to harden that glaze onto the pot. So, you know, it can take anywhere from, you know, if you combined it all, it might only take a half an hour or something, but then other times it might take, you know, you might work on something for days and days. It all just depends on the piece. Those take a little bit of time because there you're having to throw the pot. Once the pot is made and fairly finished off, where you finish the bottom, then you have to go back and draw Michigan on there, and then I carve out the Great Lakes. So they're hand carved. Those probably take, you know, 45 minutes to carve out the Michigan, the Great Lakes out of the pot. And of course, if you don't do it right, then you cut through and you ruin the pot, and then you have to start all over again. And once you ruin a piece of pottery, there is no going back. It's history. You throw it away and start over. Those, of course, are done in the raku process, is the way I do those. So those have even more labor intensiveness to them. I have to put them through the raku kiln, which is just a little bit more of a process, because you're going through the whole thing of glazing the pot, then putting it in the kiln and firing it, and while it's still red hot, you extract it from the kiln and put it in, I use metal trash cans, and the metal trash can is filled with shredded newspaper. That's what I use. People can use all kinds of different things, sawdust, wood chips, you know, anything that burns, leaves, but I just use newspaper because it's readily available and consistent. And you put it in the trash can filled with newspapers. The newspaper catches on fire. The flames from the newspaper react with the glaze on the pot and causes the different colors to come out. And that's really fun. I've really enjoyed that. I've only been doing that about 5 years. But it's a real fun process.